What's the latest with him?
Well, preliminary, the X-rays were negative. So, I mean, he's going to get an MRI right now, so I don't know. That's all we know at this point. I know it was his hip, which is good. It wasn't his knee. I thought it was his knee, but it was his hip. So we'll see. We'll see. I thought he was on track to have a career night. I thought he was unbelievable. But I'm really proud of Cole Stout, the way Cole Stout stepped in. So we'll evaluate Taj when we get him back and see tonight and go from there. We're just like everybody else right now. We're crossing our fingers as well. But I know this. He's a competitor, and he'll be back. He'll be back ready to go. That's it.
You're really aggressive early. Early. Did you feel like you had some advantages against their DBs, I guess?
Well, I wanted to set the tempo of the game. I felt like last week our tempo wasn't nearly what I wanted it to be. Even though we ran 45 plays in the first half, early on in the game, I just didn't think we had great tempo. So I thought, we had to be aggressive. We had to go at them and still run the tempo. And I thought we did a really good job of that. I thought Taj did a real good job of it.
Was there any particular reason why Bellamy didn't get any touches in the first half?
Yeah, team discipline. Just a little in-house. We'll get taken care of, and he came out second half and gave us a little bit of a spark. It was great to see.
How did you think Cole did overall?
I thought Cole did really good. There was a couple of times he wasn't loud enough in his communication with the offensive line. Was proud of him. He came in. We asked him to throw a pass on the first time he stepped in there. That's what we were going to do, and he did a good job with it. And then we just kind of moved it on down the field. I was pleased with Cole. Cole's a gamer. He's a competitor, and Cole will be just fine.
You kind of snap the offense out of a little bit of a funk after Taj's injury. It seemed like there was kind of a hush over the stadium, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, everybody was concerned about Taj, and rightfully so. But we can't stop doing what we do. That's us. We got to be who we are, and that's what's gotten us to 6-0, and from an offensive standpoint, and we got to make sure that we continue to do that, regardless who's at quarterback.
Was it good getting Andre going today, 117 yards?
It was really good to get him going. That was much needed, much overdue. Challenged him, challenged the offensive line at halftime. We wanted to get a little bit going, and be able to execute that and get him in, kind of get him in a flow of things. And that 4th and 1 was huge. I thought that showed a lot. We were 2 of 2 on 4th downs.
If there's any area that maybe you had trouble getting into the red zone first time this year from touchdowns in the red zone.
Well, we're
is that just something that Boston calls with you, or just maybe just?
Well, no, obviously they're coached too, and they're gonna watch film too, and it just shows to me right now that we're still a long way from where we want to be. We got to be able to execute and capitalize. The great thing about it is we had 0 turnovers. Yeah. We preach that from the day we step on the practice field to the time we walk off the practice field as ball security. Every drive ended with a kick, and every drive today ended with a kick, and that was what we wanted to see. So we're excited about the field, being able to come away with points. Disappointed in the fact we had 3 occasions that we should have, 2 for sure, that we should have stepped in and be able to score. But a lot of good things, but there'll be some things we'll go back and look at and address.
What can you say about Sammy Watkins? Just 100 yards is incredible.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Wow. He's just, he's you got to get him involved, and he just gives us such a threat across the middle, a threat deep ball, a threat running the ball. We know what Sammy's got. He's not surprising anybody now.
There are more trick plays today than we've seen with the reverse halfback pass play with McDowell. Is that something you saw against Boston College?
No, it's just something we were just trying to keep growing our offense, and trying to progress at a rate that we feel like that we need to progress at, so I felt like there were some things that we wanted to do, and we've been working on, and some of them worked, a lot of them worked, a couple of them didn't. So that's just the way it goes.
Does that affect your decision to run those in the future, or?
No, Lord, no. Like I said, Coach went out to tell me, whoa, not go. We're going to run them. That's just who we are. We're an aggressive football team. I'm an aggressive play caller, and I love taking chances. And there's some things that we do that's a little kind of quirky at times, but that's who we are.
How different was the package that Cole had as opposed to when Taj was less experienced?
Well, I tried to keep it as simple as possible on Cole. I tried to, to eliminate some of the reads that he would have to do. It was a little bit, not a whole lot.
So will you keep pushing the gas pedal if Cole has to play?
Oh yeah, and Cole's fine. Cole's going to be a great quarterback here. We've got to make sure that we continue to push him, and know, he's been getting a lot of reps in practice. He just, unfortunately, over the last 3 weeks, he hadn't got to play much, or any. He hadn't got to play any. So that's what I try to tell him in practice, and he'll be the first to tell you. I'm on him pretty hard in practice because of today's like today. And he's ready, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine. So,
who's your guy behind Cole?
Right now we have Donnie McElveen, and then obviously the two guys beneath them, Morgan Roberts and Tony McNeil. So we'll evaluate one of those guys who's going to have to travel with us, if regardless. I mean, Taj being in or not, and so we'll evaluate all that a little bit more tonight and tomorrow.
You had a lot of different O-line combinations out there.
We did. We did, just again trying to find that right mix-up. Our tempo was going really good. We snapped the ball 79 times or 80, 78, 79 times tonight. So we had good tempo, and some of those guys were kind of getting a little, we were trying to find that right combination. So, again, every job's open still.
Were you thinking when you started running with Cole in there? Were you thinking more, let's run some clock, or were you saying let's be safe and run?
The last drive I was. Obviously, Coach Sweeting was talking about, Chad, let's make sure we're running clock, and I said, well, somebody needs to tell me if you want me to be conservative, and he's like, no, it's not what I'm saying. Just run some clock. Let's don't snap it so fast. And so that was good.
Because at the start of the game, you had snaps in the 22,
oh yeah, we were rolling.
Mm-hmm. You were rolling pretty good. Mm-hmm. Was your intent to keep that up the whole game? Or
it was at least through the third quarter, Bart, and then then we come down and on that opening drive, and Taj gets hurt, and you try to, then the next series, wow, true freshman, he gets the ball on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. I sat there and looked at him. I said, I love it. You got to go 99 now. So.
You're deep.
Yeah, but so it was hard to open it up for him right there, as opposed you're just trying to get the ball off the goal line and get it out. So, but the next series we come in and you saw it open it up a little bit more. Cole's gonna be just fine. I'm really proud of Cole. I thought he did a good job. And my response back to these guys in here just a minute ago, we got to have some more guys grow up. It depends on where Cole is at this point, and Taj is with his health wise. I mean, if Cole has to step in and play, we got to have some other guys that need to grow up a little bit more and take some pressure off of a true freshman quarterback. And you'll see that they'll respond. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of our offensive line. We did some good things. But again, from an overall standpoint, we got a lot of work still to do.
What were your thoughts? Though when you saw Taj going out? And okay, do you right then kind of say, okay, I got to kind of change my game plan a little bit? Do you adjust? What do you do?
Well, you try to just a little bit, not a whole lot. I mean, you don't have a whole another game plan to where you sit there and look and go, well, can't run that, can't run that. This kid gets every rep. He gets the same amount of reps in practice as Taj is getting. Okay, and he's running the same plays Taj is running in practice, so you just got to make sure that you don't overload him, and you try to get him some confidence builders early on, and that's what we did.
So when you're talking about growing up, any part of that have to do with the drops again today? It seemed like there was a couple of
from just overall. I mean, you got to have guys that just say, hey, look, I'm going to take the pressure off of you, Cole. Okay. Just trust me, I can take the pressure off of it. So, and again, that growing up's in a good way. I don't want that to sound negative. I mean, it's growing up in a good way. That, hey, look, we got a guy right here that was heck, he was taking a senior snap last year in high school. He's got to be able to step in and not have to worry about somebody else.
What did you say to him?
I just told him how proud I was of him, and I said, hey, man, we ain't letting up. So this is what I've been telling you for several weeks. You better be ready for your opportunity, and that was basically.
Does he take any one snaps or is he all twos during the week?
He gets mainly twos. He'll get a couple ones.
Personally have a breakout game?
Not many at all.
Chad, he said that you were really important to keeping him relaxed. He said, I didn't feel terribly stressed out there. And he looked in your direction and he said, he kept me that way.
Yeah.
Well, how?
Well, that's just who I am with him. And again, I put a lot of pressure on him in practice.
Yeah.
And I just told him, hey, relax, let's go have some fun with this. This is what you're prepared for. And I'm proud of him. And, we got some guys around him that made some plays tonight.
How much did you simplify things till that he did? I mean, did you run the same stuff you would have run anyway, or did you try to keep him from?
No, we pretty much ran. I mean, we're running the same stuff. I mean, we just, there's maybe a few things and some empty reads that we may not. That we may not. Some empty protections we're forced to get in the ball out right now. But again, he did.